Greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical here, and this is part 2 of a series that I guess I'm going to call Action. I just posted my last one yesterday, and that was sort of a, some action that we can take, be it ever so small, as opposed to just whining and complaining about the state of affairs in this country. My face is extremely red, I noticed. I think I'm having a heart attack. It's like 37 degrees out here. But anyways, so I have something in mind that I want to talk about, but as a caveat, I love that word. I was pulling in to where I park, and I heard Sean Hannity is playing the best of Sean Hannity, and I didn't hear the whole show, but I caught a little bit of it. And I guess it was back during just recently when we had the centennial or the bicentennial of the Gettysburg Address and Lincoln's reading of it. And I remember, and he brought up the fact that Obama, who is really, if you look back at his campaigns when he was running for president, he had the whole Lincoln theme, and he predicated his whole running for presidency on the whole, he's like President Lincoln deal. When he announced that he was running for president, he did it he announced his presidency in front of the Lincoln Courthouse and, in Pennsylvania, where, this is, oh God, they're blowing shit up and my dog's nervous. But, a weapons testing facility across the river. So, he didn't, all this shit about he's like Lincoln. There's pictures of Lincoln all over the White House. Everything is Lincoln, Lincoln, Lincoln. He tries to associate himself with Lincoln. Yet, when they did the celebratory reading of the Gettysburg Address at Gettysburg, he didn't show up. He said, the staff said he was too busy. An online check of the president's schedule showed that he had nothing planned that day. The guy's a fucking liar. I mean, he lies. If his lips are moving, he's lying. So, that wasn't the point, though, of Hannity's little segment. The point was that, I can't remember the guy's name, but some filmmaker dude went around and had 58 people, famous people, read the Gettysburg Address. And then he cut it into segments for a special, a television special. So he had, out of everybody, there were like 2 Republicans. There was President George Bush, Jr., and the other one was the guy on Fox. What's his name? Bill O'Reilly. Yeah, so you had President Bush the younger and Bill O'Reilly, and then the rest of that 58 were Democrats. But you had like Jimmy Kimmel, you had comedians, actors, Whoopi Goldberg, all these Democrats, and every one of them read it and included the segment, the nation created under God. And then, strangely enough, when it got to Obama, he omitted that. This great nation created, or whatever. He refused to say under God. And all the liberals and the Democrats are going to say, what difference does it make? Blah, 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 blah. And, there were multiple copies of the Gettysburg Address, and some didn't have that in there. But that's the one that Lincoln read from, and that's the one that's inscribed at the memorial, the Lincoln Memorial in D.C. So, when you put everything together with this guy, Obama, all of the listen, man, where there's smoke, there's fire. And here this dude omits, he doesn't go to anything that has any significance to Lincoln or freedom. He omits the word God. He claims to be a Christian. If you still believe that anything this guy says about his spiritual beliefs is true, then you're a fucking moron. I'm sorry. All right, so my thing today was going to be, and again, I didn't listen to the whole show, but I caught a little bit of it driving home yesterday. And this was, oh, he's a good boy. While I'm trying to think of the guy's name, let's look at this guy. Look how cute. Just look at him. Oh, you're a good boy. You're worried because you hear explosives, huh? You got yucky. Give me the yucky. Give me that yucky. You're a good boy. I love you. I love you. Can I have a kissy? Can I have a kissy? Can I have a kissy? A kissy. Thank you. So, what's the guy's name? God damn it, it's irritating the crap out of me. His name is deep from the bowels of a contained bunker somewhere and blah 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 blah. We bring to you, it's Mark Levin. Yeah, Mark Levin. So Mark Levin's show yesterday, he was touching on it. I didn't hear the show, but I heard the subject, which is a really interesting one. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing on this fucking thing. This is not news to you. I know you're aware of this, but my action series is going to be sort of what can we do about this shit? Because it's right in our face. It's in everybody's face. This has to do with the the false reporting that goes on in this country regarding black on white crime, and this was all, you know, hashed out because of the you know, current and ongoing news stories about the game of knockout, where, you know, black guys are knocking the shit out of fucking white people. And so there was a guy that was on the show, and he had written a book. I wish I had the time to listen, but, you know, he said something very profound, which is, if you were just landed on this planet in this country and all you had to go on was news stories, you would believe, especially after the Trayvon Martin thing, all the news that was going around, you know, across the airwaves and through the press, you would believe that it is open season on black people in this country. I mean, and believe me, there's a lot of liberals that do believe that. That white people are dragging blacks behind trucks, we're hanging them from trees. It's just open fucking season in this racist country, that it's worse than it was back in, you know, the 1800s. This is what liberal America and this fucking bootlicking media, this is what they want us to believe. And you and I may not buy into it, but where I'm concerned is, and this is sort of tailgating on yesterday's segment of my series, what is this doing to our youth? What are they being taught about? You talk about white guilt, and white guilt is more than just irritating. It becomes a way to manipulate a population. You start with the kids, you make them feel like they're you know, that it's a shame to be white, that they personally had something to do with all of the wrongs that were committed, you know, hundreds of years, if not thousands of years ago. I mean, this is not a new technique, okay? This is soft tyranny, and soft tyranny is not in-your-face tyranny. It's changing the, you know, you got to read the comments on my last video called Action, and I'll change the name to like First in a Series or whatever, but, you know, one of the guys that is a subscriber to my channel and gives the links, I think, to documents that are schoolwork that's being approved through the school system in many states, and how they do this under the guise of teaching kids to shorten sentences and paragraphs and come up with the same meaning. But the words, the sentences that they have to deal with and work with are just fucking scary. I mean, it's, you know, almost like, I wish I could quote it directly. You need to go read the comments, because it's worth reading. Something along the lines of, you know, better to work on behalf of a government than for the individual, that kind of shit. That's soft tyranny. That's changing the hearts and minds of our young people, because we're already write-offs. If society collapsed today, people like you and me, we'd be rounded up and executed, because we're considered threats to the regime. That's not an exaggeration. I really believe that. I firmly believe that just being at this video, I'm a threat to the regime. Disgusting as that is, we got to face reality. Now, the reality about this black on white violence is it's rampant. You know, and so what can we do about it is the question. I don't have solid answers, and on every video I post, I'm always looking for other opinions. And hopefully people that watch this video scroll down and read the comments. I've got some unbelievably smart people that subscribe to this channel, and they leave some, you know, just awesome remarks no matter what the topic is. And I'm far from an expert on anything, so, you know, we're all in this together kind of thing. Let's feed off of each other and learn. God damn, look at the color on the water. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Fucking awesome, man. The red reflecting off the sky. Beautiful. One of the things I suggest that you do is, you know, when you hear news stories or you know, you see them, you rest assured your kids are being exposed to this shit, these lies, and it's very dangerous. It's building up a type of citizen that's going to be a good follower and a good bootlicker for a controlling government that's not based upon anything even close to the freedoms that our founding fathers wanted. So when you see these stories about, you know, white guy fucking shoots black jogger, and when they're, you know, the first thing you do is have a family meeting. Get used to having family meetings. But before you do, Google, you know, white person shot by black person, and, you know, you'll have to find it on page 75 of some fucking website, but it'll be on there. And if you run out of places to look for that, just go to the big cities. But the point is the numbers don't support any of these theories at all regarding white on black, like the Trayvon Martin thing. When you compare the white on black crime to black on white, it's the delta is in the hundreds of percent. It's unbelievable. You know, you can't. There are white people raped, mutilated, shot and killed, mugged, jumped, robbed by blacks 1,000 times more than vice versa. So I guess that makes me a racist to some liberal that accidentally stumbled onto this page. you know, or maybe even some of my black friends, which, you know, if you think that, fuck you then, because you're not my friend, because you should know better than that by now. And I'm really sick of defending myself, and I'm not going to. Bottom line is, reality is reality, and if we don't deal with reality, if we don't face it, then we are just as big a part of the problem as these tyrants in D.C. and in the Capitol. So, you know, we got to pay attention. He's getting scared because they're shooting. It's all right. Stay by daddy. So he doesn't like that kind of fucking mortar rounds and shit falling. But look at the sky. It's beautiful. God damn it. So yeah, you know, we have to take a stand and start putting the right perspective on this biased news. I've said before, and I'll say it again, the media, you know, shame on you fucking losers. You know, the people that were in the newspaper, I used to garner my respect, and, you know, this free press and the people questioning the White House pool, you know, press pool that would really hammer the president and get him narrowed, you know, demand answers from the fucking press secretary. These fucking people today are absolute tyrants. Anybody that's in the press and the media, with very few exceptions, are working on behalf of the Obama administration because they're completely punch drunk with this bullshit. And why is that? It's because they bought into the soft tyranny that was used against them when they were in college, and their long-haired, dope-smoking professors taught them how fucked up it was to be white and rich, and how capitalism shit all over the black person and the Indian and everything else. Absolute bullshit. Google some of the, you know, I shouldn't even have to tell you this. There are enough successful black people, and unfortunately in the Hollywood world, you get people like Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey, these fucking people. You know, these are people that get rich because of capitalism and then turn around and talk about how fucking racist this country is. It's a travesty. You and I don't buy into it, but your liberal fucking sister-in-law does. Your children are going to fucking buy into it because they're just getting fucking, you know, hammered by this day in and day out. So take charge is what I'm saying. Take charge and have your own little fucking weekly news thing where you go over white on black crime, bring it out and start on that first, and then go over an equal amount of black on white crime and explain to them, you know, hey, I'm not trying to make you hate black people, but the truth is, you know, if we don't acknowledge reality and truth, part of solving a problem is acknowledging the problem. And if we're living in dreamland and we pretend that it's safe to walk through a black neighborhood on a fucking weekend and you're a cracker, what a disservice. And we're helping the destruction of our country. It's a bigger problem than it appears. It's not just what's on the surface. It's what's below the surface of the intentions of these fucking idiots. So if you feel comfortable, give the caveat. I don't hate all black people. You know, I'm so sick of saying that shit. But if you drop off any white person down at the corner of 102nd and Grape or down in Harlem on a fucking weekend night, you know, if they come home, it's going to be missing some teeth, maybe, and maybe missing their life, but for sure missing their watch and wallet. That's just a fucking reality, okay? And if reality makes me a racist, then I'm a racist, okay? So do what you need to do, but get the proper message to your family. Listen, you get emails and shit, don't send them to your Republican friends. Don't send them to your conservative friends. I don't want to hear the shit. I already know it. Send it to your fucking liberal family members, and if they don't like it, fuck them. You know, it's time they start paying a price for being fucking part of the tyrannical system, okay? Inaction, that's action. The inability to acknowledge a threat to this country makes you part of the threat. Not you, but your fucking liberal people in your family, just like me and mine. Okay? I've had friends drop me. Fuck them. They're not my friends. All right, LMS Tactical. I talked fast. I talked loud. But I still love you. LMS Tactical out. Take care.